What's the third thing you want to know?
I want to know if you have built an audience from giving away free stuff, genuinely, again, just to help. How do you begin selling to your audience without them feeling like that was your goal all along? Yeah.
Okay. Once again, I'm going to answer your question with a question.
Perfect.
Why is it a problem if that was your goal all along?
No. Yeah. And that's the thing. There isn't a problem with that at all. But I guess because that wasn't my goal when I started, and I feel like a lot of the people that appreciate me, they tell me a lot. I get a lot of, a lot of interaction, and they're so grateful. It's breathing, right? Breathing is like free. It's a big part of it is that it is free. But when you decide, I feel like this is my purpose to give this to the world. Now, how do I pay my bills with it? Then it becomes a different genre. So I do not think there's any issue with that being your goal all along. Of course, it's just now, since that wasn't, I feel like my audience
why do you think your audience would have an issue with that? Even if it wasn't your original goal with you shifting, why would your audience have a problem with that? And by the way, I would add, you're not taking away the free information. You're offering something,
of course, yeah.
Right? You're not pulling the rug out from under them. You're saying, hey, I'm doing this and you love it. Here's a way that you can get more of it. You're not forcing it. You're not saying, hey, this newsletter is now only a paid newsletter.
Yeah.
Right? You're saying, here's this thing and now I've got this new thing. Why do you think your audience would have a problem with that or react?
I think it's like and again, this is probably my own self-reflection of things. So you have to keep that in mind, but it's such a fringe topic, right? It's it's kind of like punk rock growing up. That's what I listened to. Like I was a skateboarder and I was like, I just feel like that was what was kind of unique about what I do is that I'm this guy who's just been giving away stuff for 4 years now, every week, and never asked for anything. And so it just feels weird now to be like, oh, now maybe you'll give me some money. And I know that again, the way you're saying it, I feel ridiculous now, but in any case, it's that's what kind of made what I do unique is that I was never trying to get anything from anyone. And then now I feel like it'll be like, oh, okay, he's just like that other a billion other health people online now who say they can fix your problems if you just give them money. And that's not what I'm doing, but I'm just trying to make a living. Anyways, I'll stop blabbering.
So first of all, almost everyone feels the way you do. So you should not, that's why I was really excited to answer these questions and do this podcast episode, because I know tons of people feel how you do. So you should not feel like, oh, it's just you and whatever. I'm going to tell you the key phrase you said in what you just said there, right? There's two things. So one is I would disagree with the fact that what made you stand out was giving stuff away for free. What made you stand out was the value of what you gave away. Lots of people give stuff away for free. Lots of people don't care about that stuff, right? So that was not your, I think in your own mind, you've been like, oh, this is and by the way, this comes from someone who gives away tons of stuff for free.
Oh yeah.
Right.
Yeah.
So I completely relate and think it's a very good strategy, but I think it's important to understand, just like with me, what makes me stand out is not that I give stuff away for free. It's the value of what I give away. It's the value of what you give away. The key phrase you said was something along the lines of I never ask for anything, right? Or I'm the guy that never asked for anything. You are not asking for something. You are offering something.
Yeah. Okay. It's a good point.
Totally different, right? And this is true of all selling, right? You are not asking them to do you a favor. You are not asking them. This is one of the reasons I don't like in general donation models that you see creators do. Please support me on Patreon. I like selling because a donation model, the please support me, suggests that what you are offering is not valuable to them. You're just asking them to do you a favor. You're not asking anyone to do you a favor. You're saying, I've got this other thing here that's different, that's bigger, that's whatever, that's more specific. I'm offering you this thing that's valuable, more valuable than what you'll pay for it. If you want it, buy it. Great. If you don't, that's cool too. I'm still over here giving you the free stuff. When you feel like you are asking people to do something for you, that's the death of that leads to you feeling insecure. That leads to you feeling cheesy. In your mind, they're doing you a favor. People that buy from me are not doing me a favor. I'm doing them a favor. I created a thing they can access.
Yeah.
They don't have to. That's fine. Right? It's really important. And I think if you take nothing else away, I think it will totally shift your mindset when you realize you're not asking people to do something for you. You're offering them something. And I think that could feed into all your sales language, all your everything. Hey,
yeah, no, that's perfect.
I made a new thing. I think you guys might like it. If you do,
that's how I feel. Like exactly what you said. Like I do feel like here's this thing, but if you don't want it, that's fine. Like I'm, like I still give you my newsletter. I have all this free stuff on my website, but I never, framing it's crazy.
And it also allows you to get less insecure and more excited about what you're selling. Oh, I'm so glad I created this new thing. I got a new way to help you. By the way, this podcast, even though I'm not quote unquote selling it, is similar, right? It's me going, hey, I got a new thing to offer you. Maybe you want to check it out. Maybe you don't. That's fine. It won't be for everyone, right? Even if you create a course or whatever, I created a course a couple of years ago called the Newsletter Accelerator. It was a text only course. There were some people that were like, why isn't this video? Because it's text. like it is what it is. Like if you want that, cool. If you only want to watch videos, then that's not for you. And so I think that because it's hard to ask people to help, it's easier to feel like you're helping them. That's the key switch. The other thing I would say, sort of one other note about this, it's again a sort of mindset shift to wrap your head around. People want to pay for things. I know that sounds counterintuitive, but it's true. If you think about it, especially when you get into sort of information products and expertise and that kind of thing, right? Anything people want to learn, they could pretty much learn for free. If they buy my newsletter workshop, they can learn how to grow a newsletter for free in a million places. There's podcasts, there's YouTube videos, there's blog posts, a lot of which I've created and other people have created. They don't need to pay for that. They can learn breathing techniques without buying your course. So why do people buy things? Why do they buy information products if they don't really need to? And there are a bunch of reasons, and people buy for different reasons, but some of it is they want to make a commitment. They want to feel like they're investing in it. They want to have some skin in the game. Again, this goes back to offering a paid product allows them to do that. Versus I read his newsletter, it's different when they pay, right? It's different when they pay for organization of material, right? They pay for, they want to pay to commit to get a transformation or a result that they want, right? The other thing is, in some cases, while I don't love the idea of like, give me a donation, it's like they may want to support you. Some people will buy because they're like, I love all the stuff this guy's doing for free. Yeah, let me buy this, right? So yes, they want to pay for their own reasons of committing, but some of them also will want to support you. And the other thing I think is if you offer a product and sell a product for money, it increases the perceived value of your free stuff, right? So right now you're giving free stuff and it's maybe super valuable, but you're just a guy who gives free stuff. If you have a product, whether it sells or not, you're the guy that has the paid course about breathing, who's an expert, who's now sharing all this free stuff. The perceived value of your free stuff goes up just by having a paid option. You've positioned yourself in a way that's sort of different. So it gives you more credibility, regardless of how many sales you make. If everything is free, everything's a commodity. So that's with all of that in mind, it all comes back to sort of what I was saying originally, which is you are offering, you're not asking.
Yeah. And that's the mind. That's the word I needed to change for sure. Cause yeah, I feel like I'm asking for some reason, even though deep down, I know I'm offering something. I'm really proud of it and all that. But I think subconsciously I was thinking, oh, here I go asking when I'm not. I'm offering a course.
Yeah, and it's interesting.
Awesome.
Even when you drill down into like writing sales pages or promoting it in your newsletter or whatever the product is, it's interesting if you write it up and then look at it and go, okay, is this offering or asking? You'll see a lot of people in their sales language, they're asking. They're almost like sort of begging and pleading versus going a much more straightforward, hey, I made this thing. It's going to help you do this. If you want to check it out, here you go. I sell, when people subscribe to my newsletter, they get a welcome email and I invite them to reply, tell me what they're working on. And then I'll reply back to them and I'll give them some suggestions. Oh, here's a blog post you might find interesting, or this might help you with that, whatever. And a lot of times I'll usually include a sales promotion for one of my paid products. I don't ask, I offer. I go, oh, and by the way, like you said, you wanted to grow your newsletter. I have this newsletter booster workshop. You might find it helpful. I shared something in my newsletter the other day about someone had run a test. I think it was with copy on sales pages. And they said using words like might or may, as opposed to this will, whatever, increase credibility and ultimately increase sales.
I went and changed all my headlines after you sent that.
Right, exactly. But the other thing that's doing, if you think about it, might is much more offer language than ask.
Yes. Yep.
It's not, please buy this because this is going to blah, 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 blah. It's, I made a thing. It might help you.
Yep.
If you're interested in it, here it is. And if you think about yourself as a customer too, how would you want to be sold? Like you would much rather have the guy, or woman, or, let's say you're buying a car, you would much rather have them go, this might be the right fit for you if you're blah, 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 versus this is the perfect car for you. You'd be crazy to look at anything else.
Yep.
So that's my big takeaway, which by the way, I don't think I've actually ever said to anyone before. So I appreciate you giving me the chance to come up with this, but offering, not asking is the big takeaway.